This morning we are talking about the 5 worst pieces of financial advice with our financial expert, Mark Lamkin. Mark, we work so hard for our money, but you say there are 5 things that we don't need to do. And number 1, it's take financial advice around the water cooler.
You know, I've been in this business 24 years, Sterling, and I think I've made all of these mistakes. And back in 1991, I started out as a stockbroker. I should have known better. I was taking tips from family and friends, and I had the idea that you're going to get rich just by buying the next penny stock or that $2 stock, and it's curing cancer, and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. Not the way it happens. 95, 98% of the time, you take that stock tip from the barber, that taxi driver, your neighbor, you're going to lose it all. Even if you win 1 out of 10, you're going to lose most of them. Not worth it. Don't buy on rumor. Don't buy on tips.
All right. Our second tip, let's bring it up here on our screen. Robbing your 401k, that's an absolute no-no.
I'm going to tell you now, if you're asking your friends to borrow money, they're most likely telling you to take it out of your 401k because they don't want to give you the money to begin with.
That's right.
They're giving you bad advice. Don't take that money out of the 401k because 2 things happen. 1 is it doesn't solve the underlying problem. 2 is you can never get that money back, the time value money, that tax deferral. And lastly, when you take that money from the 401k, most folks think they take that 20% tax hit and it's done. That's not the case. When you file that taxes, you'll owe 30% more. If you're pulling 10 grand out of your 401k, basically it's going to cost you $5,000. You'll never get it back.
All right, let's talk about borrowing to invest.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And this is where the biggest and most sophisticated investors in the world have went bankrupt. What happens is you have a brokerage account, say $10,000. The brokerage company will let you borrow $5,000 on that account.
Sure.
They can borrow for nothing. They're charging you 7-8%. But here's what happens. If that market goes down, you're going to have a margin call. You've got to keep 50% collateral. You have to come up with more cash put in that account, or you're going to have to sell that stock at a loss and you'll lose it all. Never, ever buy stock on margin or borrowed money.
Paying what you can. Are we talking about credit cards here?
No, this is what I'm talking about. If you owe debt, whether it's a mortgage, credit cards, car loans, to any type of bank or finance company, don't get caught in the trap that, well, it's a $150 payment and I'm making a $5 payment. As long as I'm paying something, it's going to stave off collection. Not the case at all. Post 2008, I don't care if you're $20 or $30 short. If it shows up later on their book, you're going to collection. Get any agreement in writing. If they agree to let you pay that $5, that'll stave off that collection. Just you can't pay as you go and pay what you want and not avoid collection.
All right, and lending to friends. It's so hard to do. Just say no to lending to friends.
Well, you still owe me 20 bucks from last summer.
Well,
but
hold on. Let me find it. How about settle for 15 right here on live TV? Do we have a deal? All right, deal.
Best way to lose a friend, lend them money. Listen, if you want to give somebody money, fine. I learned this the hard way many times. And you know what? 250 here, 500 here, maybe a cheap way to get a bad person out of your life. But nonetheless, if you lend a friend money, you're putting your relationship on rocky road. Don't do it. Stay out of business with friends. Don't lend them money. If you want to give them something, fine. Just don't do it.
5 tips of bad financial advice. That's what we're talking about this morning. If you're just joining us, you can find it on our website, WDRB.com. Now, if you want 5 tips how to make money, just call the number on your screen. Lamkin Wealth Management. He has 2 offices in the greater Louisville area. He would love to help you out. His information is there for you to jot down and take advantage of. Mark, always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.